Alright class, now that we've got bell work knocked out of the way, we're going to go ahead and work on our expectations and our behaviors that we're going to practice in class. We're making a class contract. It's going to be collective, we're all going to sign it when we're done, but this is a history class. Don't want y'all to think I'm boring, no, this class is boring, so we're going to start it off. I'm going to change it a little bit. Instead of a class contract, we're going to have our Mr. Evans' 5th period World History Peace Treaty. We're going to discuss peace treaties throughout this class. They're an important thing. This is going to give you a little bit of a preview, not really, into how they're decided by working individually and then coming together to sort through what they want and, knocking out what we don't want or putting what we do want up here. So whenever y'all came in today, I had you break into groups. You're going to work with that group first, and then we're going to discuss it as a class, and we're going to sign this at the end. I'm going to sign it as well. This is our agreement for what I want, or what we collectively want our classroom to feel like, and what we're going to run with. And this is not a document that's not going to be changed or touched. We're with you for a long time, 50 minutes a day for a whole year. We got something that's not working, you might come into class one day and we might start off like this again. I'll break you up and I'll be like, all right guys, we've got this issue. How are we going to handle it? What do we need to add here to handle it? Or if y'all come in and you're like, all right, Mr. Evans, this isn't working for me. Is there any way that you think, or that we might be able to change this? If a few of y'all are really agreeing, if it's something that we need up here, if y'all think that, we'll add it up here. We'll have these meetings as needed to make sure that we're keeping our behavior in our classroom feeling safe, fun, and educational. So, with that, I got you broken into groups. We're going to have 3 guiding questions that are going to guide our words. Each group, I want you to be able to write down 5 words together for what you want to add to this. I'll talk more about that in a second, but just be thinking, you're going to be thinking of kind of expectation rules as I write these questions, because I'm not a multitasker. I won't be able to really write and say it, so be thinking of that while I'm writing. But our first question that I want everyone to consider is, how do I want to be treated? Not how does me, but how do y'all want to be treated individually? So the first one, how do I want to be treated? This is by your classmates, and this is also by me. This is how each one of you wants to be treated by the classmate sitting next to you, the classmate across the class, and by me. So leading to that, the second one, how do you think I, Mr. Evans, want to be treated? Want to be treated. And then our last question, we've got how do y'all want to be treated by each other, and then how does Mr. Evans want to be treated, and our last one is how we're going to deal with conflict. I hate to say it, but I doubt we're going to be able to make it without conflict. If we do, it'll truly be amazing. But we're with each other for a lot of time, so we're going to deal with conflict. So how are we going to knock that down whenever it does come up? Because we want to knock it down, we want to remain friendly, we want to still be friends whenever all this is over. So our last one is how do we deal with conflict? How do we deal with conflict? Alright, so these are the 3 questions that are going to guide our time in just a second. What I want you to do is your table. I want y'all all to pick one person to write down. Y'all have got a poster board similar to this. We're not going to be posting it. I just want y'all to be able to all see it together, and I don't want y'all writing. I want you to be paying attention. So I want one person to be a writer, and I want that person to be a boy, because y'all see my handwriting, and I don't want a bunch of pretty handwriting by girls, and girls are the ones that always get told to write. So we're going to change it up, because something we're going to learn in this class is we're not keeping the same roles. I'm not going to keep the teacher all the time. I want to learn from y'all, so I want y'all to be switching up the roles in your groups. So y'all pick someone who's going to be our writer. And then what you're going to do is we're going to think of these 3 questions, and I want 5 words from each group. that'll go on our peace treaty that's going to deal with this. So like one of my words that I'm going to write down that I don't want y'all to be using, and we're not going to use for this, is organization. That's because I want our classroom to be organized how we spend our time, and I want it to be organized and we're cleaning it up as we leave because I don't want to be cleaning it by myself, so that's something I want us to work as a group. Alright, so that's what I want. And I want 5 words, and I want short little words, you know, organized, classroom, time, just little branch off words like that. I want you to really think about this, guys. I don't want it just to be these words. I want a little bit of thought. I'm going to set us a 2-minute timer on my phone. And we might not even need that much time, but let's go ahead. I'm going to write mine down too. And so we're going to work together as a group for 2 minutes. I want to make sure everyone is talking. I don't want one person dominating it, and just get them all wrote down. You got 2 minutes starting now. Alright, a minute's passed. Make sure that everyone is talking. If you haven't talked yet, try to talk now. Like I said, this is a collective classwork. It's not just for one person, so make sure everyone is talking. Alright, it seems like everyone's done. I'm going to go ahead and wrap up. We got 15 seconds left. If anyone needs it, go ahead and raise your hand. Alright, we're all good. We're going to go ahead and wrap up. So, now what we're going to do is I want y'all to, as a table, I want you to pick 2 words that you're each going to share. I've got mine done too. It should look like this. You know, we've got our 5 words and a short little jotted notes next to it because we thought about these words that we put down. Alright. So just a real quick second here. I'm going to pick my 2. I'm going to put a star next to them. And pick 2 people, not your writer. Your writer's not allowed to speak. They've already done their job. I want 2 people that we're going to have say your 2 rules that you want to add to this that you think are beneficial. Alright, so we're going to go, you know, kind of as needed. If you've got a word that kind of sparks something, go ahead and after they've said it, raise your hand as your table, and we'll go ahead and say it. Right, so the first word I heard you'll say is intent. You want intent behind your classwork and growth. So I'm going to write intent, classwork, and growth. Alright, anyone have a word that kind of bounces off that's kind of similar? Alright, if not, what's your second word? Kind, and that's dealing with our conflict, right? Alright. So they're wanting us to put up kind, when disagreeing, and handling conflict. Do we all agree with that? Thumbs up? Alright, so it's going up here. We're going to agree to be kind whenever we're disagreeing, and we're going to be kind when we're handling conflict. Now, when disagreeing, we're going to have some tough conversations in here. It's history, it's messy. We're going to have a lot of times whenever we disagree, and we're going to be kind then. So we still all agree. Thumbs up again. Alright, putting it up here. Kind in disagreement and in conflict. I like that word. I was going to say friendly, but I like kind a little better. All right. All right, so our next word that I'm hearing y'all want to do is positive. And so they're submitting that we say positive, and by that we have a positive outlook, we have positive interactions with each other, and we have a positive resolution to conflict. So that means whenever our conflict is done, or whenever we're sorting through our conflict, we're not looking for a one person wins, one loses, we're looking for that win-win. With the outlook, we're going to have a good outlook for this classroom. I don't want y'all immediately thinking this is boring because it's history. There's a negative thing with that, so that's my word I'm adding is outlook. We're going to have a great year. I know all of you are going to grow. You're all going to become wonderful people after this class. You're all already wonderful people. And then our interactions between each other are going to be positive. We're not going to put each other down. You all ready to put it up here? Thumbs up? All right. So positive interactions, outlook, and resolution. All right, so our last word that we're going to put is we're going to put support. That's my word that I wanted to share, or one of my two, but we're running out of room, we're running out of time. Like I said, we'll revisit this. So I'm just going to limit myself to one word for my group. So my word is support. I want us to support each other. I want us to lift each other up through this whole class. There's going to be lots of group work. There's going to be lots of partner work. I want you to support each other. And that means making, like I said today, we're going to be changing up roles. I want you to support those roles with each other. I want you to support the input that each other are putting in. And I want you to support yourself. I want you to support your knowledge, your learning. I want you to go home. I want you to do your homework if it's assigned. I want you to do your reading. And I don't want you just to halfway do it. I want there to be thought with it. I want you guys to learn and to grow. That's my mindset for this class, and I want it to be for y'all, is we are going to grow this semester. So I'm going to add that with support. I'm going to put support each other, ourselves, and growth. We're really going to focus on growth this year because I want to see you all grow, and I want y'all to see me grow. So our last word we're going to put on here before we all sign it is support. Thumbs up that we all agree. All right. So we're going to support each other, ourselves, and our growth. All right, so our classroom, Mr. Evans' 5th period World History's Peace Treaty that we're all going to come up and sign is that we're going to have intent. We're going to have intent with our classwork and our growth. So say it with me, intent. All right, next we're going to be kind. We're going to be kind when we disagree. We're going to be kind when we're dealing with conflict. Say it with kind with me, kind. All right, and next we're going to be positive. We're going to have positive resolutions to conflict, positive interactions with each other, and a positive outlook for the class and our future. Say it with me, positive. Now, our last one is support. We're going to support each other. We're going to support ourselves. And we're going to support growth. Say it with me, support. All right, so now we're all going to come up. We're going to sign it. I'm going to sign it first, and then we're all going to come up here and sign it. We're going to agree to this. Whenever we have issues in class, we're going to come back to this. And like I said, we can add, we can take away. But this is how we're going to handle every situation in our class. We're all agreeing these are our rules and our expectations for our class. I didn't come up with these. This is all of us. We're all collectively agreeing. So I'm going to sign it, Mr. Evans. So now I want all of you to come up orderly and go ahead and sign it saying that you agree that these are going to be our rules and expectations for the semester. And I think we're going to have a great time. I think these are going to work out well, and we're going to really learn a lot about each other, and we're all going to help each other grow. All right.